What's up, guys? Derek from Legendary here, coming at you with a Batcowls update. We actually got the first ever DC comic on the blockchain airdrop to us as cowl holders, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you the inside of that, how it looks in the DC comic reader, and give you an update on Superman #1, which was the first comic that DC sold to the public. So lots of exciting things. We'll talk about price, where it landed, less than 24 hours after being on the market, and what is to come. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and smash that bell so you don't miss any future videos. Let's jump right in. So Batman, the Legacy Cowl, first ever DC comic on the blockchain, voted on by the fans and cowl holders. So we voted on all the aspects of this story. Super exciting, super fun to do that. We voted on sidekicks, villains, place of the villain's hideout. We voted on the Batmobile, catchphrases, style of the Bat computer. So many things, and there's still more votes to come. We just got another email for the next vote, which will be taking place shortly, and we'll be voting on the next chapter in this story. This is official canon. So this story will be official canon, history of Batman, voted on by the fans. Worked on this project with Jim Lee and team. So this is available on the secondary marketplace, as well as Harley Quinn #1 and Superman #1. So Harley Quinn #1 was also a free airdrop. They did a free public mint. There was 30,000 available Harley Quinn party favors and invites. So basically people could have got those for free. Batcowl holders did get one for free, and then the public was able to come in as well. If you held on to that and revealed which one you got, you also got airdropped the Harley Quinn comic. So Palm is doing some really cool things. I definitely recommend this project. If you haven't got involved yet, we just had the first Superman #1 comic sale. So it was $9.99, only 3,000 editions available. And let's take a look at the marketplace and see what that's doing now. So $10 to mint this comic, and let's take a look. After less than 24 hours, we'll see what it's doing on the marketplace here. All right, so we got 5 variations of this cover. For the Legacy comics, they do grading, so it's all going to be the same cover. This is going to be the Legendary, only 150 available. Currently, the floor price is $6,000. The next tier would be Epic. So the Legendary is like a 9.8. Epic's going to be like a 9.4. Floor on that is $1,730. The next one is Rare, and that's going to be like a 9.0 grade. The floor on this is $990. Next is the Uncommon, and this is actually a 2.0 grade. It's got a lot of character though. So I was telling people I think the Uncommon will outperform the Common just because of the character. It's got the tears. It's got stamps, initials here. And I just think that's really cool. And the Common, so that's a 2.0 grade. The Common is an 8.0, and the floor is $530. So right after drop, you could have picked up either of these books around $100. So if you were on the secondary market looking for deals, even though it was a rough drop and rough secondary marketplace day, there was 100,000 people waiting to get 3,000 copies. So as you can imagine, the site was under stress, pressure, and not everybody was able to secure one on the drop. I actually landed the Uncommon, and it took me 15 minutes after drop time, tons of fighting through technical issues to actually get that. But the Legendary, this was initially dropping around 2,000. So you can see the floor price now is $6K. So there was definitely opportunities, even if you missed out on the drop, to actually get into this Epic comic at a great price. Now, there's going to be weekly comic drops for Palm and DC. So I do see a potential pullback once we start getting more comics on this app. So just keep that in mind as well. Not financial advice. Some of these prices could go up, some could go down. So just do your due diligence, kind of think things through. If Superman is one of your favorite characters, you might have some mixed feelings about buying this at this price. I would just say don't over leverage as always, and there will be other drops. So we still have a lot of good comics that can come from DC. Action Comics #1, first appearance of Superman. Hopefully, I mean, that will be an epic drop if we get that. We got Batman #1, Detective Comics 27, Brave and the Bold. Lots of cool stuff that could come. So just keep that in mind. Now let's look at the Legacy Cowl. So that was the first ever DC comic on the blockchain, right? So this one dropped for free to all Batcowl holders. And there's 6,674 total editions. You can see here the floor price is 115 currently. Before Superman 1 was announced, the floor was down to close to $57-ish. I mean, so it doubled in price once people realized we're getting DC Comics, additional DC Comics on Palm. So to me, it's interesting to see what could happen with this one. I had two. I sold one for liquidity, and I'm not selling my other one. I'm just going to keep that. I also want a physical version of this because this comic right here is the reason I got into this Batcowl project. It's just super cool to be able to be so involved. We voted on this cover. We voted on all the aspects inside of it, and we got to see them come to life before our eyes. So really cool to be engaged with the DC team and create something together, basically, that is now canon forever in the Batman storyline. So 80 years of Batman. Now the fans are involved in this particular storyline in a very intimate way. And it's just really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that comic looks like, how it looks on desktop to page through. It's really cool. They have their comic reader kind of takes you through panel by panel. So let's jump into that, and then we'll get back into the marketplace and just wrap things up. All right, so here we go. Batman, the Legacy Cowl. This cover was voted on by fans, and here is the first page. Written by Dan Abnett, art by Pablo Collar, color by Hi-Fi, letter by Marshall Dillon, cover art by Mikkel Janin, editors Michael McAllister and Katie Kubert, Batman created by Bob Kane with Bill Finger. So you can see the Bat computer, these graphics, and the style was voted on by fans. The Batman suit style was also voted on by fans. So those are two things so far. You can see we had input on directly on this comic. You can see some cool cowls here. We got the Batman Who Laughs cowl, and the Legacy Cowl is missing. So that's kind of the mystery in this first part of this storyline. We're trying to figure out what happened. So Nightwing, boom, there's our first appearance of Nightwing in this story. We voted on Nightwing as a sidekick. There were some other potential sidekicks we could have chosen, Robin or Batgirl. We went with Dick Grayson, the original Nightwing, as the sidekick. So really cool that we had direct input. We got to vote on his costume as well. So we chose that style of outfit. The Legacy Cowl look, you can see on the computer. It's semi-sentient. We voted on that cowl look as well. So they gave us some different options for most of these choices, and the fans had direct input on those. So just really cool to be so involved with this and see all the things we voted on come to life. And you can see here we voted on the Batmobile, which one Batman was going to use in this story. I voted specifically on the one that was successfully chosen, and that happened several times. So I was super happy with the choices we made. We made an interesting choice in villain, so we'll see what you guys think about that. And lots of cool stuff still to come for this storyline. So it's out there that someone stole the cowl. We don't know how yet, and we don't know who. So Nightwing and Batman are trying to figure that out. And here we get some type of clue. Someone got in and had a program overwrite their protection program without any alarms being triggered. So it had to be someone pretty smart. And out of our votes, the one we were most interested in was between the Riddler and Brainiac actually ended up winning, which is traditionally a Superman villain. So you can see here in this panel, it says, should we call you-know-who, which is interesting. And we voted on whether Batman should say to the Batmobile, which is a classic line, so we ended up making sure that was put in this comic as well. There's a dope shot of the Batmobile that we voted on as fans. So, I mean, everything you could have wanted from a fan perspective for this first comic was here. This whole project has actually just blown my mind, exceeded my expectations. Fans were able to meet Jim Lee. They got, invited to exclusive access to the Black Adam premiere in New York City. There's been several events that Batcowl holders got into for free. But the main reason I wanted to join this project was for exactly what you're seeing right now, to be involved in the development of official canon DC comic story. And so far, so good. I mean, this story, we weren't sure how they were going to put it all together. But based on our votes, this thing is shaping up to be a really cool storyline. I mean, if you've never read a comic before, this would be a dope one to pick up and read, to me. It's currently up to date. It involves, technology, powerful villain, arguably one of the smartest villains in comic book history. So Batman is one of the smartest humans and maybe the best detective ever. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But that's basically it. That's our first glimpse into the storyline. Super exciting stuff. So let's get right back to it. All right, so that was your look inside Batman the Legacy Cowl, now available on nft.dcuniverse.com. You can also buy Superman #1, Harley Quinn #1, and there will be weekly comic drops coming. So for everybody who was doubting the Batcowls, hopefully this gives you some clarity on why the hardcore Batcowl fans were so sure about what they were doing. The Batcowl floor has also come up quite a bit since the Superman 1 announcement, so let's check that out real quick. So mint price was $300. The floor is now $666. And it was around $550 before the comic announcement, so it's more than double mint price now. I know I've done videos in the past telling people when it was just over mint price that they should probably grab one of these. So I'll link those below as well. I don't know if this is a good floor price to enter or if it might come back down. You got to make that personal decision. But there are some cool cowls that you might want to get into while the floor is so high. So double the mint price. But there was a limited amount of cowls, so 11,000-ish total cowls minted. So if you want one, I mean, the secondary market is the only place to get one. With that being said, we have 3 comics currently. I showed you the floors on Superman and the Legacy Cowl. Let's check out Harley Quinn real quick. These were free airdrops as well. The Legendary is currently $300. Which I don't think is that's not too bad of a price to me, just because there's only 291 of those. But you got to compare it to with what else you can get. So when you can, put 600 together to get Superman #1, that's the comparison you got to make. So plenty of value left for Batcowl holders. We have lots of cool stuff to look forward to. So just check it out, nft.dcuniverse.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and smash that bell so you don't miss any future videos. Stay legendary. Catch you on the next one. Don't sleep on Palm NFT. That's all I want to say. Peace.